Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Extreme Outfitters YouTube channel. Zach and JR here, and we're doing another bow build for you. This time we've done JR's build for his TAC build, but now we're gonna do mine. So it's that time of the year. We'll be out at TAC in Seven Springs, PA in...
End of May.
End of May.
May 28th or 29th through June 2nd, something like that.
We will be there for the entire thing. We'll have a booth out there. And we also plan to do some shooting. So we've each built ourselves up a bow. So I will actually be shooting the PSE Evolve 33. So I had a tough time making up my mind as to what particular bow I wanted to go with. JR went with the Lift 33 from Matthews. And I really enjoyed shooting my Mach 30, and I planned on just taking my Mach 30 to shoot. But I decided I wanted to build something specifically for this. So I ended up going with the Evolve 33. And PSE did a fantastic job getting this bow to me here in a pretty timely manner because we don't got much longer till we'll be heading that way, and I wanted to get some time behind this particular riser. So as you can see, we've got it right here, the Evolve 33 in the charcoal with the bronze accents. This thing is incredibly clean looking.
Sharp.
So we're gonna build this thing out today. So, and we're gonna start with the reason I went with the 33 over going with just my Mach 30, if you know anything about TAC, we're talking long shots. JR's been there before, so lots of 100+ yard shots, JR?
A good mixture. Yeah.
A good mixture. So I wanted something that was a little bit longer, axle to axle, so I opted for the 33 in the aluminum. I like a little bit heavier bow for shooting distance. They just seem to hold a little bit better. So this is where we're at, the Evolve 33 from PSE. So JR is gonna go ahead and build it out because JR is the head tech here, and I want this thing set up perfectly. So I always go to him when I need any kind of, I have any tuning questions, build questions. JR kind of walks everybody through our shop, through all that. So he is our head guy. So he's gonna set it up for me. So we're gonna start with the rest itself. If you know us, you know we're fans of Hamskea. This is the Epsilon, this is the Core edition. So a limb-driven rest, Hamskea makes a bulletproof rest.
Yep.
We run them on pretty much all of our bows. I think the last few years I've been running Hamskea on all of my bows, from the Hybrid Hunter Pro and now more recently to their Epsilon series. It's nice, it integrates right to the rear of the riser on the Evolve 33. So super low profile, super clean, which when we're out at TAC, I won't personally be running a quiver. Will you have a quiver on your bow?
Probably not.
So most of us will run our arrows in either a pack or a pocket quiver or something like that, just so they're not on the bow.
Yep. And just a reminder, because I know it's been a while since the Epsilon's been out, but if you don't remember what CORE stands for, it's Center Shot Optimized Rest. So most times when you pull these right out of the package, they are pretty much already set up for your center shots. Especially the Matthews ones, it seems like pull them out and they're set right dead center 13/16 right out of the box. So it's
makes the setup process
super easy.
It does. So the other thing about the reason that we like our limb-driven rest from Hamskea is, correct me if I'm wrong, JR, but as far as servicing in the field, you can do it yourself. It doesn't require a press. You don't have to press it, split cables, run a cable through it. It runs right to the bottom of the limb. And typically you don't run into the timing issues like you do with a cable-driven rest. So we are big fans of limb-driven rests for pretty much majority of our bows.
Yep. Yeah, so you can kind of mess around with your timing a little bit, but generally speaking, as long as you set your cord about 2 inches from the end of the limb, you should be fine. And you can also mess with your launcher angle and all that stuff, but that's really something that, it's all set right from the factory. You really don't have to mess with that too much unless you really want to kind of play with your stuff. Most times when I run into that problem is setting up for bigger diameter arrows, like if you're going to set up for a target bow for 23s, 25s, or 27s. That's where you can really kind of fine tune all that stuff. But generally speaking, if it's just a hunting setup, you don't have to do anything. And you opted to go with the Sonic 6.0s as well.
Yeah, so we'll go in a full depth on the arrow build that I'm doing, but just for setup purposes for this bow, we are going to make sure that the knock set and everything is set for the Sonic 6.0. I wanted an arrow that was going to be pretty light, so we went with the Easton Sonic. I haven't personally used them before. I've always shot their Axis 4mm or Axis 5mm, and I wanted something a little bit different to play with while we were out at TAC. So that's why I opted for the Sonic 6.0.
Yep.
Which arrow are you shooting?
I've got the X10 Parallel Pros. I've got those built up.
So JR went with the top of the line.
You know me, I'm Gucci.
Always.
Got to run that Gucci.
Yeah, I don't want to feel too bad about myself when I lose some of my arrows, so that's why I'm not shooting an X10 Parallel Pro. I decided, the Sonic 6.0 I think would be plenty for what I'm looking at doing.
Yeah, be able to build a nice light arrow that'll be able to get out there and reach those 110 plus targets.
That's right. Also, too, in case you guys are looking at getting some arrows for tax season, if you head over to our website, it is April right now. So for the entire month of April, we're running a special on all of our arrows. So if you buy 6 or more arrows from us and you use the code Total15, you'll save 15% on all of your arrow purchases for us. Doesn't matter the brand, any arrows that you buy from us, if you use that discount code Total15, you'll save 15% on any of your arrow purchases as long as you buy 6 or more. And don't forget, we also do a free cut and glue. So if you like your arrows cut from us, all you got to do is put in the order notes the arrow measurements from carbon to carbon, and if you would like your components glued or not. And we will happily do that at no additional fees. So head over to the website, extremeoutfitters.com, pick you up some new arrows for Total Archery Challenge. And while we're out there, we'll have a ton of arrows too.
Yes.
So we will be out there the entire, because this one's long. I think we're going to be there for about...
Each event is 4 days, but we got to get it out there early to get set up.
We'll be there, I think, Wednesday through Sunday.
Yeah.
So it should be a good event. We'll have a bunch of giveaways too. So if you're out there at the Seven Springs event, make sure you come by our booth and enter to win some free stuff, and we'll just be handing out some free things while we're there.
And even just to hang out and chill and talk and everything.
Absolutely. We're looking forward to it. A couple days out of the shop. So we always put a knock set on all of our bows. Always, it's kind of standard what we do here at the shop. It just makes it very easy, one, to prevent knock pinch when you're tying your D-loop, two, and whenever you need to replace your D-loop, you already have your D-loop, you already have those indicators as to where the D-loop needs to be tied. So, makes it easy. And JR, as far as D-loop length, what is do you run them a little bit longer, shorter, happy medium?
It really depends on customer preference. Most of mine are about a 1/2 inch in length, so this is pretty close, about a 1/2 inch. But at the end of the day, it really just does come down to customer preference. But there is also too long and too short, I feel like. So that is a video that I think we're gonna be doing here in the future.
It is.
Which would be a good one.
Based off the release you use, the arrow that you're shooting.
The orientation of your nocks and everything, or your knots, not nocks.
Your knots. Like we talked about with the limb-driven system from Hamsky, notice we don't even have to put the bow in a press to get this thing set up. So it makes it nice and easy. And again, with the limb-driven system, you can service this in the field. So if something were to happen, you were to sever that actual cable to the rest itself, you ultimately use a shoelace or anything else to get that bow back up and running until you're able to get to a shop and get that material replaced. So it's nice. And again, like we talked about with Hamsky, these things are built like tanks, pretty much bulletproof.
Yep. And what I'm also doing is I'm getting rid of the clamp and I'm making a Prusik style knot. So that way if you need to mess with your wrist at all, you can actually just pull on that knot and make it tight. And plus it gets rid of another piece of metal and plastic on there.
All right, so we've got the rest set up. So the next thing we are mounting on the bow is gonna be the sight. I opted for the Fast Eddy. This is the pick mounted sight from Spot Hog. So since PSE offers that pick mount option, I have it on my Mach 30, which was the first time I've ever run a Picatinny mounted sight. I really do like it. It's again, very streamlined, very low profile. I like how it mounts up. And the reason I went with Spot Hog is I've had a lot of good luck with Spot Hog. I've run a bunch of the different sights, the Excels, the Red Lines, but I wanted something, again, that's just bulletproof, and Spot Hog is known for having just a very robust, very durable product. From their releases to their sights, just the quality is really, really good. And I want something that I'm not gonna have to worry about while we're out there, changing out, potentially breaking. I know from past experience with Spot Hog that they are just incredibly well built. So that's why I went with the Spot Hog. Again, the Fast Eddy, this is a triple stack, so I have 3 vertical pins. I like the vertical pins, the more I've gotten used to them over the horizontal, just because I like the clear sight picture that I get from running that vertical pin. And 3 pins, I've always liked 3 pins versus a single pin. You know, in case I do decide to hunt with this bow, I like to have the option of that 20, 30, 40 at all times.
Yep. And you can actually adjust those pins up and down as needed. You can micro adjust them. So
right, that's a big thing.
Great option.
With this, the triple stack is you can individually adjust the 3 vertical pins versus just adjusting the one and having to set your indicators based off wherever the other fibers are within that single pin.
Correct.
So I do like the triple stack a lot. It's a bigger housing too. I've never liked the small housing. And the cool thing me and JR were just talking about too is the rings that you can change out on the face of the actual scope.
Yep. So that's the MRT ring, or multiple ring technology. So they come with, if you're on the triple stack, it comes with 3 different size rings. They do pre-install the biggest one on there. I personally don't like it, especially because it does overhang past the housing. So if you are worried about maximizing distance, that's where I would definitely recommend to go to the smaller ring. So most times I end up throwing that small one on there, and still gives you really good alignment too if you need it. And it's just super easy, just a screw-on piece made out of, I think it's like 70-75 aluminum or something like that. Very robust. There you go.
Completely changes the look of the sight itself. That big ring is
It's massive.
It's enormous. Yep. So super clean. It makes the scope not look quite as big as what it did with that ring on there. But I agree, that initial ring is just really, really big, and you look through it, I mean,
yeah.
So it's really easy. The thing I like about the Spot Hog sights as well is I run a 5/32 peep. I'm going to be running the Raptor peep from Hamsky. A 5/32 peep lines up really good with that particular housing and that ring for me at my draw length.
Yep.
Even with the fixed sight, with it not having the ability to adjust in and out like some of your dovetails, it still lines up really, really well for me.
There we go. We got it built. All we gotta do is get the peep in there, get timing, and then get some arrows built.
So that's it. So this is going to be the bow I'll be out at TAC with. Again, this is the Evolve 33 from PSE. PSE did a fantastic job getting this bow to me in a timely manner. And like JR saying before we leave, the stabilizer, almost overlooked it. He already mounted it before we started the video. So this is one of the Conquest bars. This is actually a 10-inch bar. And I've run some of the Conquest bars in the past, and we did a video on this too. They have their smack technology. So it completely eliminates really any of the vibration that the bow puts off.
Yeah,
so
it does a really great job of just dampening and soaking up all that energy from any kind of vibration.
yeah, it's a great option. I'm just gonna run the single front bar up front. Me and JR kind of went back and forth about this. The bow already holds really good at full draw. That 33-inch overall riser is very stable, but it is a little bit heavier. So continuing to add that weight, we decided to go away from it. I've never personally run a back bar on any of my stuff before. I have one time and I just didn't like it, even though it was specific for 3D stuff. I continue to run just that front bar and a 10-inch front bar. Yeah. So I think it's plenty.
Absolutely, yeah. You'll be just fine on the mountains.
Yeah, and then again, the Conquest with their smack technology is incredible. If you saw the video that we've done in the past where JR held the 2 different balls made out of material, one was made out of a rubber, and then the other was the smack technology. Yeah. The rubber one obviously bounces. The smack, it
just deadens.
It drops, and there is no bounce from it.
It just absorbs everything.
So pretty cool technology.
Yep.
But that's it in a nutshell, as JR would say.
Yep.
This is going to be my bow out at TAC. So what we're going to do from here, we're going to do a second part of the video where we actually go through and do an arrow build for this bow, and then we're going to do the final tuning process once we build those arrows up for you guys as well. So stay tuned for that. And if you guys got any questions, drop them in the comments box below. Let us know what bows you guys are going to be running out at TAC. And if you're going to be out at TAC, we'd love to hang out with you guys, maybe do some shooting with everybody, but make sure you get an opportunity to swing by our booth for some cool swag giveaways and some discount cards we'll have out there for you guys. So any of your archery needs, head over to the website, extremeoutfitters.com. Remember, sign up for our newsletter. We have some of, as JR says,
biggest and best deals in the industry.
Of course. So we're sending those things out once, twice, sometimes 3 times a week. So on quality product you guys are looking for. And remember, for the month of April, we've got our Total Archery arrow sale going on. So any arrows you purchase from us, you got to order 6. We will give you 15% off on that purchase. Just use the discount code TOTAL15. And don't forget, we also do free cut and glue. So if If you want us to cut your arrows for you, specify the length in the order box, and we will cut and glue your arrows at no additional charge. So, StreamOutfitters.com, all your archery needs, head over there. And as always, we appreciate you guys following along.
And we'll see you in the next video.